Hey everyone, so in today's video we are going to be rating the Bloxburg Gamepasses and see how well they have aged over time or not so well because some Gamepasses, oh my gosh. Let's get into the video. So I made a little template which if I won't forget I will put it in the description of this video so you can play it yourself. But if I forget, remind me in the comments please. Now let's start with these Gamepasses. Did I actually get all of them? Okay, yes I did. Okay, so the first Game Pass, we're starting good here. Oh gosh. The unlocked stereo Game Pass. Now I will keep into consideration the price, what it does, and how much it enhances the gameplay, and so if it's worth it in the end. Now unlocked stereo is one of the two most expensive Game Passes in the game, so it's 400 Robux. Allows you to play sounds from the Roblox library in-game, create custom playlists, access vehicle radios, and use the DJ booth at beat. Now this Game Pass has gone through quite a lot. It wasn't already worth 400 Robux when it came out. Now the problem with it is that Roblox one day decided to remove all of the copyrighted sounds. So the problem with that is that if you have a lot of sounds on your radio, so let's say use radio, and if you have a lot of sounds on here or songs on here that were copyrighted, for example you had a Billie Eilish song on there or Lana Del Rey or whatever, that song has been removed from Roblox because it was copyrighted content. So all we can do now is play copyright-free music on the radios, and that's what you pay 400 Robux for. So the problem is that there were a lot of websites where you could get song IDs from, and a lot of people actually put together a playlist of their favorite songs on whatever on the radio, so when they were at home, like they were role-playing, they put their favorite songs on. That was nice, like people could bond over that, like oh my god, I listened to that artist too, and then that was removed. And for example, if I want to add Old Town Road, if it works, it's going to be either a high-pitched version, so let's say for example when you listen to the Chipmunks, or it will be As It Isn't Public, and most of the songs aren't public because most songs have copyright on them. So my problem with that is that this Game Pass is basically useless. Like yes, you can play some music in your car, but you can also do that if you don't have the Game Pass. The only thing that you cannot do is add a song down here. But why would you need that if no song ever will be able to be put to that list because they're all removed or they don't exist anymore? So you pay 400 Robux basically for no reason at all, and the only real thing that you can do that other players can't is go to the DJ booth that no one ever uses, like the nightclub no one ever comes here, and play some music here. That's all that you can do. That's the entire difference, and that's what you pay 400 Robux for now. So my vote with this one is easy. I will give it 1. That is definitely like one of my least favorite Game Passes, and 400 Robux is way too much for that. Then we move on to Large Plot. Now Large Plot is when you go into build mode, and normal plots in Bloxburg have the size of that square in the middle over here. So you see that there is a thicker line. That is the size of a normal plot. So going down here, I'm already over it with the apartment building, although I do have some room on this side still, but not much. So a normal plot is 30 by 30, and that's cool if you want to build a normal house with a very small garden, because this apartment building still leaves some room for a garden. If you want to build massive builds like my friend is building over here, where they have a massive mountain range and stuff like that, you will need that larger space. So 30 by 30, if you buy the large plot, you go up to 50 by 50 of these little squares. So that really extends your plot quite a bit, and you can basically do whatever you want on that. I mean, that is something that I don't think is necessary unless you are into building very big things, or you want a massive garden or a mountain or a beach or whatever you want to do that takes up a lot of space. You will need that large plot Game Pass. Now, you can perfectly live with a 30 by 30 square if you just build a building, like small pool or small garden behind it. If you have one house and that is your only house that you play in, and you are happy with 30 by 30, then I don't think you need that bigger plot space, unless you want to add a bunch of trees in here or something like that. But I mean, it's not a necessity unless you build a lot or unless you want to build massive things, but I don't think it's really that important to have. We also have to factor in the price. 250 Robux increases the boundary size like I explained. I think this Game Pass is worth it. It is not a must-have. I'm in between 2 stars or 3 stars, but I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars because it is nice to have. Wow, that was a slow drag. So yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that. I'm gonna give it 3 stars, like right in the middle. You don't need it, but it's nice to have. Then we move on to excellent employee, which is 300 Robux. Makes you a truly excellent employee, increasing both your earnings and how often you get promoted. So if you go to work, with this Game Pass, you will actually get more earnings while working. But another thing that happens as well, so except for more earnings, I don't know how much more you actually earn. I think there is a list on the Bloxburg wiki, which I will check out in a minute. But instead of getting 2 points, so instead of going from 657 to 659, I will go to 661 because I get 4 level points for delivering pizza now instead of 2. So you level up twice as fast, which means your earnings will increase twice as fast as well, which is very nice to have if you want to have a lot of money, if you want to build a lot or build something very expensive. It is always nice to have. I think this Game Pass is a little more important than the large plot because it helps with every aspect of the game. Like Bloxburg, after all, is still a building game. So I think in the long run, you will really appreciate excellent employee because you do level up twice as fast in every job. I don't quite know about the earnings. Let me check that. So there is a little earnings tab that you can click and you can see for each level how much you will earn for each pizza delivery. So if you're level 1 and you don't have the Game Pass, you will earn $25. If you do have the Game Pass, you will earn $44. Now I do think, yeah, they are on maximum mood. So your mood affects your income as well. So whether you are clean, you need to be able to keep everything above 80% and then your earnings will be like at maximum. If you're lower than that, your earnings will gradually lower as well, which is kind of sad. But as you can see, it is quite the upgrade if you have the excellent employee Game Pass, and I think it's definitely worth it to have it. If you do want to build a lot, if you want to build a big house, then I think you definitely need to get it. So ranking that, I will just put it above large plot because I think it's worth it a little bit more than large plot is. Then moving on, we go to the Basements Game Pass, and the Basements Game Pass is 100 Robux, so it's not too expensive, and that allows you to do so many cool things. Of course, you can build a basement, but it also allows you to do things that you normally wouldn't be able to do on the upper floor. For example, putting basic shapes in the basement and using that as like a lower floor to your normal floor, stuff like that. Also make normal basements, of course, but there's a lot of options that you can do. You can make traps in here and stuff like that, so it's definitely fun to have, and for 100 Robux, I would definitely recommend getting it. It's definitely worth it. Also, if you don't want to pay, I don't know how many Robux it is, I think it's 300 Robux for the multiple floor Game Pass, but you still want a second story, then you can totally go ahead and buy the Basement Game Pass, and you will have a second story to your house, even though it's underground. So I don't have much else to say about basements, but I'm not sure whether I should put it above large plot or not. I think I am going to... I should totally have something in between this. I'm actually gonna put it next to large plot because I do think it's also something you don't need, but it's super useful to have if you want to make different style builds or 2-story builds, just like if you want to build large builds with a large plot. So I'm gonna put it right next to it, but I favor basements over large plot. Moving on to multiple floors. This Game Pass is 300 Robux, so that is quite expensive, but it allows you to build up to 5 floors and make your house even more awesome. So this Game Pass is basically a no-brainer for me. It's fun building bungalows and stuff, but a lot of houses have 2 or 3 stories. So, and if you want to make a custom roof, then you definitely will need the multiple floors Game Pass. There are so many uses for it. There used to be only 3 stories that you could build on, but now you can build all the way up to the 5th floor. So that is really crazy. And it really opens up the amount of creative things that you can do with your build instead of being stuck to 1 floor and 1 floor only, because it's fun living in bungalows sometimes, but it's also nice if you could build like 2-3 story houses without worrying about space or something like that. And I feel like most houses have 2 stories and bungalows are kind of a rarity. But I do have to say 300 Robux is quite steep for something I think should be in game for free, or at least I feel like you should be able to build at least 2 stories high, because most houses are 2 stories high, and I don't know, it should be free in my opinion, like at least this. And so because I think it's something that you really do need, or at least a second story, I don't know whether I should put it next to basements or next to excellent employee. I think I'm going to put it next to excellent employee. If only the 2 stories were free, then I would put it next to basement, because I feel like you just need the 2 stories to be able to build. It is a building game after all, and being stuck to bungalows because you don't have Robux is kind of sad in my opinion, but that's my opinion. Moving on, we go to advanced placement. And advanced placement is 200 Robux, allows you to place objects without collision checks in build mode, which means that they can be placed inside each other. But this Game Pass really has gotten a lot of perks since it first came out. At first it was like, it was okay, it was cool, and people really wanted it because it was useful, but it became even more useful over time. And I think if you have one, or if you have the Robux, if you have the Robux for one Game Pass, then I do think it's definitely the one to get, because basically for everything now, for every build now, you need advanced placing, and especially for the basic cubes, like if you want to just make something fun and like a custom stair or something like that, you need advanced placing. And if you do not have that, it is so annoying. And what annoys me most about not having advanced placing is actually the fact that if you build a kitchen, so appliances, this, that, and you want to have your counters go all the way up to the wall, you are not able to do that. And that really, really annoys me. So you're not able to place a counter here, so you have to like end it like that. That's one of my annoyances, but there are a lot of new annoyances as well. And especially like with all of the new building tools that we have right now, advanced placing is definitely the one to get. So if you have spare Robux and you want to buy one Game Pass, get advanced placing. And so for that reason only, I will give it 5 stars or 5 points, because I do think it's something that you need right now. It's just, if you're into building, this gives you a lot of freedom. No other Game Pass gives you as much freedom as this one does, so I do think it's very important to get. Then moving on to the last Game Pass, and that is another 400 Robux Game Pass. As a premium member, you get half bills, double daily rewards, a special name tag, increased donation limit, and the ability to choose your plot. Now, 2 of these are very useful. The ability to choose your plot. If you have a favorite spot on the map, you can choose where you load in your house, so that's very useful. No more randomized button. You have a special name tag, so your chat is red. You probably see that a lot in Bloxburg. For example, my friend right here has premium, so it says premium, and then a red chat, so it's basically that. And then, well, double daily rewards. It's not like the daily rewards are a lot already, unless you want to save up block bucks, but I don't feel like the daily rewards are really, really worth it to be doubled for 400 Robux. Nah. But the donation limit is quite useful. So, donation limit for people who don't have the premium Game Pass is $10,000. If you do have the premium Game Pass, you can donate up to $50,000. But is that really worth 400 Robux? I don't think so, in my opinion. So the premium Game Pass is just too expensive for what it is, in my opinion. And for that reason only, I will give it 2 points, because I do think it is still better than Unlocked Stereo. You still get to do some things at least, so that's good. So this is my rating, I guess. So advanced placing on number 1, with 5 points. Then we have excellent employee on multiple floors, large plot and basements, then premium, and then unlocked stereo. So basically, the most expensive Game Passes are the worst ones, in my opinion. So I'm gonna leave it at that. Let me know what you think, what your opinion is on the Game Passes, how would you rate them? And if you have some time, make sure to go to that website and make your own little rating. That would be fun to see. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that like button, and please subscribe.